Hey everybody, we're live. It's Wednesday and we got Lucy here to say hello. She probably won't last very long, but thanks for coming to my live stream. If you're watching the replay, just zoom till you see stuff happening. I'm going to be saying hello to people in chat. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be exploring using silicone mats instead of the gel plate to do jelly printing on. So we're going to try that. Not sure how it's going to work. Oh, she already wants to get down. No. Oh, fur ball. Fur ball. It's okay. Oh dear. Oh, Lulu. I think she's reverse sneezing. Okay, well, she's going to say bye. Oh dear. Oh, did you get it? I think we're okay. Okay. Oh, hi, Dar. Hi, Linda, Star Traveler. Hi, I almost said hi, Lucy. Hi, Diane. Hey, Dee Dee. Good to see you. Fun stream again today. I need to put this lower because the chat goes up and it's behind my white wall and I can't read it. So today, so we're going to be doing some alternate gel plating, and I haven't opened those, so I haven't tried it, so I don't even know how it works. So we're going to try that. You gonna stay, Lulu? You gonna stay? Oh dear. Okay, so I want to just make an announcement that tomorrow evening I will be on with Messy Palette, Diane, and this is a hint of what we're going to do. She does a stream, use it or lose it, or use it up with guests. So I'm going to be her guest tomorrow, and that's my hint for that. I just wanted to show you last week. Hi, Beth. Hi, Keeks. Hope I didn't miss anybody. Hi, Melinda. You're at the dentist. Oh, dear. Good luck. I'm going to the dentist next week. So I wanted to show you, I was looking for this print and I couldn't find it. So this is an example of one I had done using those Dina Wakley stamps on the gel plate with alcohol ink. And then this one I pulled with silver. And you can see I just left the image there. So it got kind of a ghost image of that person. So I wanted to show you that. Hey, Joanne. And this was this is in my Gel Prints 2024, and it was beside this print, which remind me of a faux cyanotype. You get laughing gas. Wow. Well, that's good. And so today, well, first of all, I'm going to be away for the last weeks of October. So about the 7th to the 30th, I will be out of country, so I won't be streaming. I'm trying to make some videos to release while I'm gone. And one video I've always wanted to do is to try out these sun paper cyanotype papers from the dollar store. So I tried it out and I started recording a video, but I don't think I'm going to release the video. I'm just going to show you guys my experiment just now. And when you get them, they come in this black bag, and there's five pieces of paper in here, and they have the one surface coated. So I had done a video a couple years ago of wet cyanotype using these Jacquard solutions. And a lot of people still watch that video. I get a lot of questions about it, but I'm not a cyanotype expert. So this is the one time I did cyanotype. I did like several prints. This is on mixed media paper. And this is adding soap bubbles. You can see the soap bubbles and vinegar. And this process, I just painted the solution on while it was wet. I took it outside. I laid my sticks and whatever down, sprayed the vinegar, threw on the soap bubbles, and let it set. So I wanted to see if that sun print paper would be better. However, a lot of videos I watch where they do cyanotype is they'll take the paper and they'll put it behind glass or plastic and they'll clip it in. So I was just using this glass from a cheap dollar store frame. So I thought, well, it's not going to be UV, it's not going to block UV. It's just a cheap dollar store dollar store glass, because it's the UV that activates the chemical. It's not the temperature outside, it's the UV. Hi, Linda. So I did that. So the first one, I didn't add anything to it, and this is not a good success. I left this out for 30 minutes. The instruction says 10 minutes. Now I'm further north, so I thought, well, if I double the time, that should be good. But this is behind the glass. The other one I did, this one was also, no, this was not behind the glass. And I used the soap bubbles, but they're very large. And I used some rocks, but still not, and this was 30 minutes. So I thought, well, that's probably not long enough. This one here, I had used my, I had used some hand innards from my reaching hand stencil as like to block the light there. And I had used this tissue that I had printed using the jelly plate and Play-Doh. And I thought, well, I'll spray it with water and attach it to the glass. I had to keep spraying it because it kept coming out, but it was too far away and you can't even see the pattern. You can see the soap bubbles and you can see the hands, and that was 30 minutes. So I thought, okay, well, obviously I need to do more time. So this one I did under glass, but this time I put the tissue under the glass with it, and I put the hands under the glass, and I put a flower under the glass and squished it. So that one's not bad. And this one I let sit for an hour. Hi, Shannon. Sorry, I'm missing people. I'll catch up with chat in a minute after I do my little show and tell. So that one's not bad, but it's still not that deep blue that I want from a cyanotype, right? It's pretty pale. So then the next thing I did, I thought, well, maybe the glass is the problem. So this one is without glass, and I just put rocks and some soap bubbles, and I did it for an hour. I don't think I used vinegar. So that one's okay, you know, still not quite as blue as I'd like it. So that was the first pack. That's 5 papers, right? So then the next pack of papers, I thought, okay, I'll do a control. I'll do 3 hours with the glass, and that's really bad. Like, I didn't do it. This 3 hours. Now it was in the afternoon, and I'm quite far north, so that could be why. It just could be didn't get good exposure. And then this one was, so I thought, well, maybe the glass, maybe if I do an acetate of that print. So I took a picture of that jelly print, and I printed it on the inkjet transparency paper. And I put the paper under here with the hands and the flower, a different flower. But that was 3 hours, and it didn't do much at all. So I thought, well, maybe the acetate prevents the UV. But then I remembered that this one that I had done, there were parts of it where maybe the vinegar or the soap had filtered through that did okay. So I thought, well, maybe I need to spray the paper with water to activate it more. I don't know. I'm just reaching at straws here. This is why I'm not releasing this as a video. So then I did it again with the acetate, but I sprayed the paper. So I put the acetate, I lifted it up, put my paper in, I sprayed it with water. I had my little hand jobby things here, like that. Sprayed it with water, and then I put this down, and then I clipped it so it was nice and tight. And that was a bit better. That was this morning. I think that was an hour. I didn't write it down. I think it was an hour, or it might have been an hour and 40 minutes. So that was okay, but it's still not the blue. It's still not the blue that I got from the jacquard. And then I also did this one. This one this one was just water, no vinegar, and no soap bubbles. This one is soap bubbles in the middle, vinegar on the edges, and some plants and no glass. So it was lying flat like that. So it's okay. You can see the bubbles there. I probably put too many soap bubbles because you can't really see the plants very well. So that one's okay, but still not what I like. And then I did one more. And this one, what did I do? I didn't add any vinegar or soap bubbles. Oh, wait. Oh, what happened with this one? Yeah, this was different. So this, when I pulled it out to rinse it, I noticed that I accidentally had this other one underneath it. So it had started to been exposed a little bit. So then I thought, okay, I'll put it flat, nothing on top. I'll put a few rocks, a few plants, and I set it out for another 10 minutes. And it turned out okay. But again, not as blue as this, right? So I don't think I would recommend this paper. I think it's really worthwhile to get the Jacquard set. And what you do is it's two components, and maybe the paper's too old. It's from the dollar store. Yeah, it could be too old. I've probably had it a year. I did notice they do still sell it at the dollar store, so maybe I'll go buy a new one and see how that does. But the problem with not having it under glass is if it's windy, things move around, the shadow moves. So what I might do as a video is I might try one indoors with the Dollarama paper versus the Jacquard paper, and use one of these UV lamps to see if I set the UV lamp, on it, if that'll do something. So that might be a video, it might not. It won't be a video for October though. The last thing I should mention is that I did, when I did this one, I did the same thing. After the exposure time, I rinsed it with water until it was clear, and then I soaked it in a bath of hydrogen peroxide and water. What that does is it oxidizes it to bring the blue out. So it's possible these might oxidize and get a bit more blue with time, but I'm not hopeful. What I might do is, like for this one, for example, I might put my hands back on there. I might repaint it with the Jacquard, put the hands on and try the UV lamp and have some fun. Maybe that'll be like a winter project. Okay. I think I said all that. I missed a lot of people coming in. Hi, Penka. Diane says you can't overexpose them. She only did hers for 20 minutes. That's true. I did read that it's better to overexpose than underexpose. And the reason I did that one for 3 hours is I could tell nothing was happening, because you'll see the paper exposed change colors, and it hadn't really changed colors. So I don't think it was that, but it could be. I'm not a pro. That's why I didn't want to release a video that I have all these questions as well, because I'll get all these questions and I'll be like, I don't know. Okay, so what else? Have my notes here. Oh, so usually I'll show you what I've been doing the last week. Well, I had some trouble with my arm. I woke up Saturday and it was all like painful. Like if you touched it, it was painful. And then my 2 fingers started getting numb and tingly. So I used my chat GPT to self-diagnose, and it sounds like I have ulnar nerve entrapment. So I've been doing some exercises. I posted a video about it, a link to a video that I used about it on my Facebook. So that's that. So I didn't do much other than the cyanotype yesterday. I really tried to take it easy, let my arm heal, and it's doing much, much better. Yeah, it could be a quality issue, but I'll buy some of the fresh paper and I'll try outside. I'll try with the UV lamp and I'll compare to the Jacquard. So I'm still going to work on some videos while I'm away. So I'm going to be away around October 7th to 29th-ish. Hopefully, if all goes well, I'll be going to Japan. And when I come back, I'm going to do a haul. My first live stream will be more of like a haul video, and I'll do giveaway of like some stickers and, fun stuff I found in Japan. Thanks. Okay, thanks, Keeks. Yes, I am feeling better. Not 100%, but I'm going to go for a massage tomorrow, and that hopefully that'll help a little bit more. So I'm going to show you, I did get a new order in from PM Artist Studio. So this is my new stencil design called Dragon DNA. So we're going to look at that. And I have some foam stamps. So I've got some of mine and some other people. So we might try that on that alternate jelly plate idea. So I'm going to turn you guys around. I think that was everything. If you're coming in, I'm going to be on Messy Palette's channel tomorrow evening. I believe it's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And this is a hint about something we're going to work on. She likes to do Use It or Lose It with guests. So I'm going to be her guest tomorrow. All right, so I'm going to turn you around and we're going to get to the table. So I'm going to bring these little silicone pads. Now you can see the silicone pads were unopened. So I have not tried this, so I don't even know if it's going to work, but I have seen it on Instagram. I've probably seen it on YouTube. I can't really say who I've seen doing it. So if you have a video you want to recommend about alternates to jelly plates, feel free to post in the chat or even in the comments below. Now, last week, my live stream, it took 3 or 4 days for YouTube to process it. So a lot of people didn't even get notifications about it. So if you missed the last week where we did alcohol inks on the jelly plate to make things like this, and then other ones that I put away. So check that out if you missed it. So this is my 9x12 Dragon DNA stencil. And then these are the stamps that I'm going to be playing with. So these are my designs here. This is, I decided I should write on the back what it is because I never remember. So Sketchy Pod Style 1. We'll go through these quick and then we'll use some of them. Sketchy Pod Style 2. And then there's a trio. So this is one set. So this is a Sketchy Pod, not Sketchy, I keep saying Sketchy Pod, it's Sketch Pod. Sketch Pod Trio, so that's a set of 3. So I'm very excited to try those. I haven't tried them yet. This is African Mudcloth by Paulla Keen. This is Footsie Play by Fran Baker. I thought those were super fun. This is Leafy Block by Safia Button. This is Bubble Wrap Style 1 by Carrie Griffith, Carrie the Crafter. This is also by Carrie the Crafter. I think it's called Tribal Number 1. And I thought it would go good with like my Dragon Eye stamp, my Dragon Eye stencil, and this Dragon DNA stencil. I thought that might be an interesting combination. And I don't know, this is by Rhonda. It's Spiracles. So it's like a leaf. And then this is a Froyle stamp. It's from her Dance Moves, and this is AMY stamp. So it's depending which way you stamp it, it's different letters. So that's M. I think this must be A. This must be Y. I don't remember. But anyways, I thought it was fun mark making. Okay. So we're going to try some different things on here. Thanks, Diane. I'm really excited to try the pods. All right, let's open these up. So this one I got at Michael's in the clearance section. And it's a bit thicker. It says soft silicone pad for protecting work surfaces. Dry glue can easily be removed. So you could use that to make like hot glue stencils too, right? So it felt pretty cushy. So I think that I've got high hopes for that one. And then this one here, so I think I got this on clearance for $5. I don't remember what it was regular. And this one is a glue gun pad from the Dollarama. And it is not as thick. So I'm not sure if this one's gonna work, but we'll try them both. This one's a little bit bigger. Okay, let's see. Thanks for coming over, people. Thanks for coming to my house to play. And if I missed you, it was not on purpose. So we're going to try different gel printing techniques on here. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. This is the ISBN of this one. And like I said, that was just from Michael's. Okay, so let's start. Let's do some stamping. So I'm going to roll it onto here, and then I'm going to stamp off and stamp onto here, and then we'll let it dry and then see if we can pick it up with paint. So I'm going to stamp with acrylic paint, and when you use acrylic paint with your foam stamps, you have to remember to clean them right away. Now I can see I'm a little bit askew, so let me try to straighten out. Okay, so let's use, thinking, I don't want to use open because I don't want to be sitting here forever waiting for things to dry. Let's just use the Amsterdam black. Okay, so I'm just going to put some on here. I'm going to roll it out like we would on a gel plate. This is the thinner mat. I'm going to do that. Oh, I should maybe roll it out a bit further. Now I had a silicone mat, like a baking mat, but the one I had was sort of textured, so I didn't think that would be an ideal test. Okay, let's do a few of this one. I'm just going to move that over a little bit. Well, I should put paper under here so I don't get my desk all dirty. Okay. Let's try this one. Hi, Sherry. Okay, and before the paint dries, let's get a bit more. And I'll give you the dimensions of this set of stamps in just a second. Whoop. So this was inspired, this stamp set was inspired by that time we did the gel printing using the Play-Doh. And I had used the, I'm going to pop these, let's just pop these in the sink. I can always go back and get them. Now let that dry. Oopsie. I'm just going to throw these in the sink. I'm hoping my sound is working okay. I think I hooked everything up properly. So I can come back and get these in a minute. So it's good to have a tray of water. Safia Button the other day was talking about just have some paper towels or kitchen towels wet. And you can just sort of store your stamps on there. Hi, Deb Brown. All right, so we're gonna let those dry. And then we'll see if we can pick them up. And this looks like it's keeping pretty wet. This feels like it's almost dry. I'm gonna just try, see if I use just paper on there. If we get a pickup. Here, I'm just gonna do that. Get a bit more light in here. All right, this feels like this looks still wet, so I'm gonna just put that on there. So this is, we're trying an alternative to gel printing. Okay, so we'll leave that layer on because that'll give us a grungy print. So that's not bad. It's more dendritic so far than the gel plate would be. So this feels, that one feels pretty dry. So let me just go ahead and pick that up. Let's pick it up with something we know would work. Let's do two blues. Let's see if we can ombre. Should we try to ombre? Or let's do, I call it random, but I learned from Jackie Bernardi that it's actually, she calls it skip rolling. So let's try skip rolling this. So it just means you just kind of go around. You're not really going in an order. So I call that random, and she calls it skip rolling. All right, let's get a piece of paper. And we'll see how that does. So I'm just pushing down like a gel plate. If you're just coming in, these are not gel plates. These are just silicone mats. This one is a bit thicker than the other. That one feels dry now. So let's try, what if we do this craft paint? Let's do these two craft paints. When I first started gel printing, so this is kind of like aimed at, let's say you're interested in, ooh, that's not gonna be good. I did not shake that up enough. You're interested in gel printing, but you don't wanna, go to the expense of buying a gel plate because you're not sure if you're gonna like it. I didn't shake this up enough. Or let's say you're traveling and you don't want to bring your jelly plate, but you think, oh, I might want a jelly plate on vacation. Maybe you bring a little silicone mat. Hi, Anne. We're trying an alternative surface for gel printing. Where did I put my mat? I haven't used these craft paints in a while. And I'm going to try botanical printing on here. So right now these are stamps. Let's see if that's coming out better. Nope, that's not coming out better. All right, let's try this one. Woo! All right, and let's go ahead and use this Dina Wakley Mango Punch. We're gonna get a brown for sure. So if you're just coming in, I'm just gonna wet my hand. That's what we're doing. Now this is oily because of the paint that wasn't shooken well. So let's see. This one will do more of an ombre style. But we all know that pink or orange and blue make brown. not really ombreing very well, so I'm going to do this. Let's see. I think I'm picking it up with my brayer. I think I reactivated it. Hi, Joan. Joan's Junk Journal. So this is a little bit of a different stream. I'm just going to have a sip of coffee. Hope that wasn't too slurpy. Okay, let's see if this pulls up. So that definitely worked. Very similar to Gelplate so far. There's our first print. So those are my sketch pod stamps, foam stamps from PM Artist Studio. And it's this is a nice, seems to be a nice surface. All right. Let's see. I think I'll have to let that one dry a bit longer. Shall we try some stencil work on here? Let's try some stencil work. Let's do black. So if you're gel printing on vacation, this would be easy to bring to make painty papers, easy to bring with you. Or if you aren't sure you're into jelly printing, maybe this will work for that. All right, so let's pick up outside the spaces here. Actually, I can just use, I'll use a paper I already had. I don't know what was on there, but it's pretty good size. Not sure. That's from my drawer of painty bases. And I want to try to get in the spaces. Maybe we need something. It might be interesting. Maybe we'll do like a mini long haul. I've done long haul a few times. It's sort of a technique I learned from going to PM Artist Studio streams, but Eddie Makes Art recently did a really good comprehensive video about it. So I'm gonna leave that on there, and I'm going to use some different paints. I just need something to pick up the paint. So let's see, we'll try that. This is the golden fluid acrylic. And we'll alternate between different paint types too today. And I wanted to try distress oxides on here as well. So here's some golden fluid dialyride yellow, which I believe is more of an opaque yellow. And I'm not getting a lot through openings. I think I needed way more paint. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. I'm going to just go ahead and layer. So I didn't have enough paint out there. Okay, let's try this one. And it'll combine to give us more of a green. Now I'm just flying by the seat of my pants here. Like I said, I haven't done this. So what I'm noticing is because this isn't a jelly plate, I'm having to push a lot harder to get into the stencil. Maybe what I'll do is when we're done this, I'll show you the difference on the gel plate. So maybe it doesn't work as well with stencils as it does because the jelly plate is thicker and it's really, you can push and it gives. Now, I'm having some hand issues. This probably isn't the best thing to be doing right now because I'm having to push pretty hard. Okay. Let's do gold. So I'm going to put a lot of paint on this one to see if it makes it easier to get into those grooves. Switching my brayer because that brayer was still wet. So that's a lot of paint. Is it getting down into the grooves? Not bad. Oh, I think, did I move it? No. We'll see. All right, so that's a very thick coat of gold paint. Let's pick that up on black. On the black deli paper that I got from Davies. Thanks, Linda. I'm going for massage tomorrow, so hopefully that'll help. So here with the Yupo stencils, Eddie explains how you start to get stuff coming off the stencil, which kind of is cool. So we got some of the pieces underneath there. This is steak paper. Okay, so I'm going to take that off. We'll let that dry, and then we will go ahead and pull it. Just going to put this on here as like a flop off. Oh, there's still some gold in there. I think I'll just see if we can get some of that black off from underneath. Okay. And put that there. Let's see if this one pulls. So this is the thinner one. So here, where I was brayering, it started to remove the black paint. I don't know if it's because of this surface or if it's because the paint was still wet. So I'm not sure. So while this one's drying, let us do a bit more stamping. Like I said, I think it would be fun to stamp this design by Carrie the Crafter onto my dragon eyes. So this is the tribal number 1. Let's do black again. Hey, Colleen. We're trying to use non-gel plate alternatives for gel printing. So I've got 2 different silicone mats. Ooh, that was a cool brayer off. I'll have to bring that over. So let's see. I thought this would go cool with my different dragon eye things. Okay, so that's cool. I'm just going to wrap that in the baby wipe till I can wash it. And let's just use a skewer and we'll just do some mark making like we see our friend, the Art Whisperer. Do that. And let's just grab a texture like we would use on a regular gel plate. So just to see what kind of marks we can make. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry somewhere. I'm just gonna put this over here for a second. That other one, it's pretty wet. Pretty wet. I'm gonna show you this brayer off on my side paper here. I'm gonna have to cut it. See, when I brayer off the how did I do that? I don't even remember. I'll have to play back the tape. Okay. So that's still very wet because I had to put lots of paint on there. This one is kind of cool. I like this one. That's neat. Let's grab the stencil. I just want to compare how easy it was to get the paint in the openings. I felt like I had to push really hard and use a lot of paint. So let's just plop this on here. This is a regular gel plate. You can see the thickness difference, right? So that's a gel plate. This one is gel press, but Gelliarts I find very similar. Some people use Gel F, which is a new brand. It's supposed to be less expensive, but I haven't seen it for much less than the gel press. Let's use the gold again, and we'll just kind of stamp, we'll just go around the other one. So here, so I'm finding I definitely get more in between the stencil with less paint. I'm not having to rub as hard. I didn't have to use as much paint to fill up that area. So if you're using it with stencils, I think those silicone pads are not as effective. So I'm just going to take this one and I'm just going to try to pick up areas to fill it up this. This is my Dragon DNA stencil. Okay, and then we'll do a little bit of this. And a little bit of that. Eye waves, yeah. So that's all right. Just gonna move those out here. So that's the Dragon DNA, and then I'll show you my other Dragon Eye stencil. I should have pulled it out before. Is it a large one? Sorry, guys. Oh, here it is. So this is my other dragon eye. So you can see, you could probably layer it. That'd be kind of cool as well. So that's the dragon DNA. And that's the dragon eye. This is a 8 by 10, and this is the 9 by 12. And then, yeah, if you pounce it, you could do that instead of rolling it with a brayer. And then my dragon eye stamp. And this is the dragon eye stamp, just so you can see the different sizes. I think this one comes in a 5 by 7. I'm not sure, but that's the dragon eye stamp size. So it's about 2.5 inches by 1.5. This one, the largest eye on the 8 by 10, is about 6 by 4. And I've seen people even cut it apart to make it like a mask. And then this one, each little eye is about 2 by 1. So that's kind of like the dragon theme. Okay, let's. So there's a lot. I had to use a lot of paint on this. Let's see if it's dry yet. So this is the Dragon DNA mini haul on the silicone mat, and it's still wet. It's still wet. Let me get my little non-heat fan, and I'll put it over there with the fan on it. Okay, let's see if this one's dry. So this one seems dry. So the last time I tried to pick up off of this one, which is thinner, it started to pull off the black paint. So let's try, let's go with gold. Let's do that with gold, just to see. And then, oh yeah, I was going to tell you guys I was going to measure the pod stamp, so I'll do that in a second. So let's use our gold. This is my favorite gold, the PBO Studio Acrylic High Viscosity Iridescent Precious Gold. And I'm sorry about those ads that pop up over the chat. That is something that YouTube is doing. I have no control over that. Okay, so let's see if I can. I think it's because I was trying to mix those two colors that it started picking up. So I'm not touching I'm not pushing down. Okay, I'm gonna go grab the pod stamps just to see the sizes of them. If you're just coming in at the beginning, I went over a whole cyanotype experiment that I did, and I may have a future video about cyanotype prints. Okay, so I got those. They're still wet though. Let me just wipe my hands. I didn't mean to get that wet. Okay, so these are my sketch pods, style 1, style 2, and the trio. And that is what we used for this one on the silicone mat, which turned out pretty well. So this style 2, no, this is style 1. So that's this one, is about 4 inches by 3 inches. So it's a pretty good size. Style 2, that's this one, is also 4 by 3-ish. And then the mini ones, the trio, they come as a set of 3, are about 3 inches by 1.5, 2 inches by 1.5, 2.5 inches by 1.5. So that's the size of those. Hi, Janet, boss lady. And I was explaining earlier that these were inspired by the Play-Doh session that we did. And when I did the print of the Play-Doh using the seed pod. So that's why they're called sketch pods. Because then I did a tracing to design the stamps. So that's the inspiration. Inspirazione. Okay. So let us put those aside. Now I wanted to try botanical printing on these. Where did I put the container? So I can show you guys. This is the blue one, is that. I don't know where I put the container for the other one. Oh, here it is. And then the thicker one, that's square, is this one here. It's Ashland by from Michaels. So this is still cold, so that tells me it's still wet. Let's see if this other one, okay, the other one feels dry now. So this was the one that we did a mini haul of the Dragon Eye. So we've got black, we've got gold, we've got blue. Let's pick this up with just thinking. So you can't really see through it. Should we just do a metallic white? Or do we do PBO gold? PBO. This. Or we could use that metallic green that we got last time. I think I want something. Let's do this one. Okay, so this is the PBO blue-green iridescent. And we're going to try to pick this up. I need a brayer that's not all dirty. Let me put away my ruler. Get my paper ready. Let's get a good paper. I'm going to use a 32-pound hammer mill for this one. So this Ashland, is it Ashland? Ashland silicone pad is a little bit thicker. Where's my brayer? Oh, well, okay. I'm losing things today. It's one of those days. One of those days. Okay, we'll just use the big one. So that's pretty good so far. It's not, doesn't seem to be pulling up the paint. one thing I'm noticing is that I don't have as much space for my brayer to travel. Oh, I missed. Whoopsie. I don't have, like when you're jelly printing and you're putting your brayer, there's more space so you can just like not hit the paper, but because this is so close, so thin, your brayer hits the paper, right? And so next we'll try, do you guys want to do a botanical print next or an image transfer next? What do you guys think? So there's that one. So I think with, so far, my limited experience with the silicone pads is I think stamps and texture tools are a better way to go than stencils, unless you're just, well, no, even if you're just putting the stencil down. It was a lot to like push that in there. So people are voting image transfer. Okay. I think I'll have better chance of success on this thicker one. So let's see. Let's give that, we have to give that a little bit more time. Let me just get my little fan on there. So for image transfer, to maximize my chance for success on these surfaces, I'm pulling something from a good old Vogue. Vogue is my old trusted standby. It's the easiest one, I think, to do an image transfer from. And while we're waiting for that plate to dry, let's use this one and we'll do botanical for Diane and Pinka while that's drying. So I just grabbed some leaves from my potted plant because it's September and it's starting to, it'll be going away soon. So I just cut off a stem and I thought, well, we can use these. So let's try that. And maybe what we'll do is, okay, let's use the open. I'll put some paint on here. Not paint, paper. Gosh, my brain, my mouth says like stuff opposite of what my brain is thinking. Okay, so we're gonna put those on that way. Perhaps we can do we'll use a medical exam paper and we'll hinge it so that we can register and pick it up. I'm just looking for scissors and we can pick it up in the same spot. Try that. No, this isn't medical exam paper. This is tracing paper. I lied. This is my tracing paper. So I'm going to put tape here. Joanne says, thank you for the reminder. I need to collect leaves from my annual ground cover outside. So I'm going to do that. And maybe I will tape this paper down so that it doesn't move. Okay. So for open paint, I have black and I have blue. Let's do blue and let's add a bit of the green metallic on part of it. And let's add a bit of magenta. Or, yeah, let's add magenta to get sort of like a purpley color. Diane is on her second roll of medical exam paper. Okay, I'm gonna just put my, so I'm hoping the open from this combined with the other two will give us enough time for putting all these leaves on and picking it up again. Okay, so that's the ultramarine blue. This is the magenta. And this is the metallic green. This is the Artist Loft metallic leaf green. This is Liquitex quinacridone magenta. And I'm going to get a brayer off paper closer to me. Hi, Jeannie. Okay, this has a bit of gold left on it, but that's okay. So I'm going to roll out the middle first. And metallic. So this is lifting up a bit and moving, but that's okay. And let's use this one for the magenta. So I just need it not to move between doing the, and it's beating up right there. So we're going to keep this kind of messy, I think. So I'm just going to put the leaves down, just different directions. I'm putting them vein side down to get more texture. Let's do that there. Okay, and then we're going to push them down. Hopefully I didn't have the paint too thick. What I should have is I should have a piece of paper to put them on after to squish them. So I want that to stay in one spot. So I'm hoping with the open paint added that it will give us a good print. Push that back down. This is tracing paper. And then I'm going to put a piece of paper on top of this and roll it. Or squish it. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm just sort of, you probably can't see that. I'm just going to roll over here for a second. I put the leaves paint side down, and I'm hoping that the paint was open enough that it's going to transfer the paint just onto this piece of paper here. So that's kind of neat. So that's just the leaf printing. Some of them still have paint on it. I think there's some wetness from when I rolled with the brayer, it kind of squished the paint out of the stem. There we go, it's a bit more. Let's do some double stamping here. See if any of these have much paint left. This one's got some. Just do that. You could cut them out individually. Let's see. Should I leave that down a bit longer? No, I'm going to pull it up, let it dry, and then we'll do another. Not being like an actual gel printed botanical paper. So let's say you don't want a jelly print, except when you want to do botanicals, you can use the silicone pad. I think that's pretty good. So that was the getting the negative and then registering it and then getting the ghost from the leaf. So we'll let that dry and then we can use that for another pull, because that's got the gold, a bit of that open paint, right? So it's going to take a little while to dry. All right, let's see if I'll turn the fan on to face that one. And you can get silicone, these are gluing silicone pads, but you can also get from the kitchen, right? From the kitchen department, like baking mats. So here's our multi, ooh, this looks really cool actually. This is our print using the dragon DNA with a modified mini haul. There is a lot of depth in that. That is quite yummy. What do you guys think? Do you like that? I like that little spot right there. Ooh, ooh-ee. Zooey mama. So that's just with this pad. See, and that's not very thick. It's a glue silicone mat. They both are. One is the blue one's from the dollar store. The blue one's just a really thin one. But this one is a little bit more sturdy. It's almost 8 inches by 8 inches. And it's funny because like I don't have a square gel plate. So maybe this will be my square gel plate alternative. All right, I'm going to clean this up just with the baby wipe, and then we'll do an image transfer. We'll try an image transfer. I'm just going to turn this ring light off for a second because I know it's very bright. And I can leave some of the mucky muck around the edges, but for the image part, you don't want to start off with mucky muck because it's already going to be grungy. Whoops, already going to be grungy as is. Now, I wonder if this is a bit wrinkly. I'm going to not use that underneath. I'm going to get some paper that is nice and smooth because that could make a difference. So I'm going to grab a big sheet of paper that's not used because I think when you push down for the image transfer, you want it to be an even surface. Okay, so that's pretty good. Now I'm going to use the black Amsterdam. So that's, I like that. I think that's cool. All right, it's still wet though. Okay, so I'm just organizing there. All right, so image transfer. We're gonna do this. So we got some high contrast. I might want, to pick what part. Let's cut that down. I'm going to cut this so that I know exactly where to place the image. I might cut it a little bit wider. Like I said, I haven't tried this, so I don't know. I've seen it done on Instagram. I don't remember by who, and I don't know what kind of silicone pad they had, right? Okay, so let's do black because I think that's the easiest to do. And we'll try to keep it thin. I need a brayer off piece of paper. I'm just gonna put these leaves over here. We might use the leaves again. I like the leaves. I did grab some flowers too we could try. Can you guys hear that fan really loud or not too bad? Okay. So usually the trick with an image transfer is to have your paint not too thick. But I don't know where did I put my favorite brayer? That's weird. Did I bring it to the bathroom when I brought the stamps back? No. Does that happen to you guys? Like you just use something and then you can't find it? Like you don't know where you put it, but it should be right in front of your face? Raise your hand if that happens to you. Oh well, okay, we're gonna use this. Now it's getting a bit too thin, so we're gonna go for that. We're gonna push to just a little bit. Take a peek. Need a bit more paint off. We'll see if that takes a bit more paint off. Not too good. Might have to do another one. This side's pretty good. This side, not so much. Okay, let's try it again. I'm gonna wipe that up. Like this part's okay, but I don't think it's worth taking the time. Well, we could just maybe see if it'll come up on a piece of paper, but that's not really what I like. Yes, Star, call the Mounties. Okay, I'm glad you guys can't hear it. Yeah, so let's wipe that up. And we'll try it again with a different image. Okay. Just wiping my hands. And let's look for another image. Maybe this won't work for me. I don't know. Okay, let's see. We want something high contrast. So whatever's black is going to stay on the plate. We could try this one. We could try a Kylie Jenner. If I lose a Kylie Jenner, that's fine. There'll be more. There'll be more Kylie Jenners in my life. Okay, let's try that. So, Amsterdam usually works, but should we try something different? We could try our carbon black, the fluid acrylic. This works good for my collage soup books, but I feel like it's going to beat up too much on here because it's fluid, and this is very silicone-y. Okay, let's try it. I'm just going to look for my brayer one more time. How y'all doing? Y'all doing okay? If you made it this far on the replay, congratulations to you. And thanks for watching. Rolling, rolling. Oh, there it is. I found it. I think when I lifted up my brayer off sheet, it rolled up on my paper towel. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, that's beating up way too much. I don't think that's going to work. But should we try it? Okay, let's try it. Whoops, Kylie got put on crooked. Get all the bubbles out. Worked pretty good. That's not bad. There's a lot of bubbles there, but her lips and her nose and that one eye are pretty good. I could have put it back down to get a bit more there, but I didn't think it was worth picking, because if you put it back down to pick up more, you're going to pick up more here. So I think that is more of a success. I'm going to put Kylie in the garbage. So we're going to let that dry, and then we'll try to pick it up. So here she is. Her shirt worked well. Part of her face worked well. So we're gonna let that dry. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, I'm gonna turn that fan around. This is the other silicone mat that we had, the leftovers from the leaves. So this might be pretty to pick up with like maybe a gold metallic. I think that I'm feeling gold today, aren't I? Okay, so what are we going to use to pick it up? Gold metallic. Let's just put it on the other side of this one. We'll pick it up on that side. That's steak paper. Yeah, the Vogue books usually work pretty good. It's a combination of the ink, like the toner in the ink, and the paper. Okay, so let's go to this one. It's a little wet still. Hello, Susanna Veneer. Yeah, and this isn't a gel plate. We're trying on silicone. We're trying jelly printing techniques on silicone glue mats. I think you can also use silicone baking mats as long as they don't have a lot of texture on them. So this is like an alternative to jelly plate. I like the jelly plate, but I know a lot of people maybe want something like an alternative to that. So I'm not pressing very hard. I'd say I'm pressing less hard than I would on a gel plate. Okay, so that is, feels like it's bubbling. Not sure if it's just the silicone that's kind of like moving as I push on it. Let me grab something to move that over with. Dum-de-dum. Like a mat or something. Here, I'm just gonna slip it on top of this to put it on the other, on my island here. Let's see if Kylie's dry. So today is a non-gel plate jelly printing style video. Okay, let's see. That's dry. So don't test the dryness in the middle of your face. Test it someplace inconspicuous. So here it's still a little bit wet. So I want it all dry because even if one part's wet, it's going to smear onto your brayer and onto other areas. So we're going to let that sit a little bit longer. I only have the 2 plates, so let's should we add some stamping? Let's do some stamping. This is Carry the Crafters Bubble Wrap Style 1. So let's get my gel plate, my small gel plate, 5x7, to load it up with some black. Let's do black or metallic. I seem to be in a black mood today. What else did I want to do? I also want to try using distress. We're going to do distress oxides on the silicone mat. Maybe I should use the open. I'm going to use the golden open for stamping. Where's the black? Golden open. I'll use the golden open because then I'll be able to load up my stamps better. Hi, Kristen. Good to see you. So for those coming in, I'm going to be a guest tomorrow on Messy Palette's stream. I believe it's at 8 Eastern. And we're not going to be gel plating. We're going to be doing some other stuff. She has a series that she calls Use It Up or something like that. Use it or lose it. So I think this is a very fun stamp. He has other sizes, but I felt like I liked this size because I don't have bubble wrap this size that prints well. So that's Carrie's Carrie the Crafter's bubble wrap style 1. And then some of my pods, sketch pods down there. Let's see. Let's do some more stamping while we're waiting. Let's stamp over this. So that's the sketch pods of my design. What if we put some of this, oh, but not in black though. That's not gonna work. Here, let's do some footprints around the edge. This is Fran's footsie play. So what if we, I'm gonna take that off because I don't want to get my, I'm trying to stay neat, people. That's fun. Make a little foot border. The thing with the golden open paint though is that you have to remember that it's going to be wet for a while. And this one, you could take it apart. Like it has a connector here, you could slice that off. This is a gel plate here. This is not a silicone mat. So that's fun. All right. I think I'll leave it there. Using all my might. See, I'm getting it on my hands because the paint is still wet. Okay. All right, I'll let that dry. And we'll let this dry. And I think it'd be fun to do the this one in gold over top of that. So I don't know if we'll do that today, but that's where my brain's going. And let's wipe this. I'm going to go throw some of these, excuse me, in the sink. And then hopefully that other plate will be dry, not plate, mat. Okay. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, I started tap dancing again. I changed schools though. This place is actually when I was a kid where I used to dance. It's the same place. But the teacher is a gentleman, a little bit younger than me. And we're not going to be competing. We're just learning different combinations every week. So I'm really looking forward to it. The first class was super fun. It's sort of a style that I'm not accustomed to. So I think I'm going to get good exercise and a good challenge. The problem with doing the competition is the teacher, she wanted it so easy that we did good and that we knew it so well, it just got kind of boring, to be honest. Okay, so that seems good. Excuse me. Now, what color? Do you guys want me to, should we try pan pastel to see how that works? Should we do pan pastel on her face? Or should we just pick it up? Maybe we should just leave well enough alone. Let's just pick it up with, we could do gold. I'm in a gold mood today, aren't I? Everyone's saying yes. Is that yes? Hi, Patty. Is that yes to pan pastel? Or maybe, since we're doing like budget-friendly options, let's do makeup. Okay, so budget-friendly options. We're going to do makeup. This is just from the drugstore. I got this one on sale. So it's not as pigmented as pan pastel, but we could put a little bit of pink on her cheek. See if it stays there. A little bit of pink. We'll do kind of like a Frida. Let's do, should we do this color? Should we give her, well, let's give her some blue eyeshadow first. Let's see. These are just makeup sponges. These aren't special sponges. Let's do turquoise. Oh, I should do white over her eyes though, so they don't do white. Okay, and let's do flesh colored. This looks fairly flesh colored. Hi, Belinda. I think what I might do is I might try to add like a bit of a highlight. Let's mix white. I'm trying to mix just on the side here, mix the white with the flesh tone. Okay. And we could go ahead and we could give her flesh tone over here because I think that's her bade. I could do her sweater. Hi, Beth. Let's do... We'll pick up with gold. No, we'll pick up with white. Let's do purple for her sweater. And then we'll do a bit of distress inks on these silicone pads. So not rubbing very hard because I'm worried if I rub too hard, I might rub the paint right off the silicone pad. So I'm just using a very light touch. For those coming in, we're experimenting using a glue silicone pad for as a jelly plate replacement. And then on her bag, what if we do like pink and purple dots? And I see her hand up here too. So let's do flesh colored over there. Hopefully this pulls, otherwise this is just all a big waste of time, right? Okay. It's something. Let's do over here. Let's just do a little bit of pink just for like interest. A little bit of pink there. Okay. Okay, let's, so that's a dry medium, so we can just go ahead and pull it. And let's just pull it with, let's pull it with white because I don't think this, because it's makeup, it's not super opaque. So whatever we put is going to show under here a little bit. So let's just use white. Here, we'll use the white. And let's get some paper ready. This is the 32-pound hammer mill. And my fan just stopped. Okay, so I need another brayer off paper. You know, I'm seeing up here, we should maybe put some of this turquoise. Just, I want it grungy, but I want it vibrant grunge. So I'm just gonna put a bit of this turquoise that we had in her eyes. Kind of put it around. And then we'll put the pink up here too. Okay. Here we go. So we need a brayer. This one's dry. We got our paper. This is our 32-pound hammer mill. And let's cross our fingers and see how this does. So I'm not pushing very hard. It's pretty good. I don't want to, I could thin it a bit more, but I'm a bit concerned about the area that was thin enough. Yes, Diane, I think it would. Okay, so let's put her aside. We can use our speedball. Okay, let's move this over here, let that dry. And we've got this other one to pull on the thin blue silicone pad. This was the ghost print from the leaves. Is it better if I turn this light back on? So this would be a good layer, base layer for something else. Okay. Let's see. Let's do some Distress Oxide. And what I'll do, well, that doesn't really do much, does it? Yeah, let's see if we can spread. Well, we could use the leaves. Okay, let's see if this works. So this is the Distress ink. This is the Villainous Potion. And this is Forest Moss. I don't know how this is going to spread on here. Let's just use a little brayer. Okay, and let's use Safia's stamp in the middle. See if we can stamp off. Now with the Distress inks, you don't pick them up with acrylic because they never actually dry. So I'm just going to press the leaf down and see if we can get some sort of pattern from that without too many fingerprints. Okay, and let's do Rhonda's. This is going to be super subtle. This is the Spiracles, I think it's called. I feel like I've got room down here for two. Okay, let's try that on. So I'm just going to use a piece of paper to pick that up. I think like a light. If I had a background with already some ink on it. I'm going to go look in my drawer here to see if I have something very light. We got purple and we got green. So like maybe a light pink would look cool. I don't want it too busy. Oh, here's one. It's got pink and yellow. It's very bright. I don't know. This might not work very well. So I'm going to put this paper down here and see how the Distress ink transfers to the paper. Yes, Joanne, that would have made it. That would make a great Egypt. I'm actually have some stuff set aside to do an Egypt journal, so I should put it in that pile. Okay, let's see. So that is very subtle. See, it's too subtle. It doesn't show up on this pink. Let's, didn't really pick up on that side. Let's try it just on this graph paper and see. I also struggle to find distress ink interesting on the gel plate. So yeah, like the yellow side picked up, but this side didn't. So I don't know. That's kind of wah-wah. No big whoop on that one. But I do like the stamps. So that was Safia's Leafy Block and Rhonda's Sparkles. We haven't used this one yet. All right, let's see if that, we're almost done for today. Let's see if our image transfer worked. I think it's still drying. While we're waiting, let's go ahead and, this was the one that we had used the foot stamp on. So let's pull that. While we're at it, let's go for gold. Seems to be a gold kind of day. Oh, you go for it. I don't own that. You go for it, Joanne. I would love to see you do an Egypt journal. Oopsie. So this was the open paint, and it's still wet. I could feel it pull. I could feel it pulling the paint up. Let's just put it on. Just put it on this. And the other thing with distress ink is it always reactivates. It's not my favorite. I like using it in coloring books. It's kind of my favorite place to use it. So Joanne, I haven't worked in it yet, so maybe I'll put some pages together and show you guys next week. It's going to be, it's not going to be like wet mixed media. Like it's going to be kind of more of like collaging things. I had these ready to go too, but I didn't use them. These are my begonias. So when I turn off the camera, I'll keep printing. So let's see if that other one is ready to pull, and then we can just do a review of our prints. Okay, it seems to be pulling. And again, if you're still here, thanks for hanging out. If you're watching the replay, thanks for watching. So this is our image transfer on the gel plate. A little bit of her eye crease was left behind, but it actually makes her eye look better. So I'm not going to be too worried about it. So there is our, we could have it like that, or we could have it like that. That is our image transfer using the silicone pad. It was very grungy. It was a little tricky. I definitely, this won't be my go-to method. I definitely prefer doing it on the gel plate. There's something that's different about the feel of the paper from the silicone pad. It feels really smooth. Well, this one doesn't. Yeah, this was just pushed against it. So that's one of our prints. Here, I'm going to zoom in. We'll look at what we did so far today. So that was an interim print. This was our multi-layered print on the silicone, the square silicone mat, using the Dragon DNA stencil. And then this was just picking up off the gel plate, this one here. This was using the foam stamps on the blue thinner silicone mat, and then picking it up on black, and then picking it up with gold. We made some squiggles. This was the ghost print of our botanical. This was an interim of the Dragon DNA. So that's the one that Joanne said I should put in my Egypt journal. I think it's an excellent idea. This was a failed pickup of the seed sketchy pod stamps on the blue plate, because I started mixing it and it took off some of the stamps, or the stamp off, I guess it was there. So I added back in Carrie the Crafter's bubble wrap style 1, 2, I can't remember what I said. This one I think turned out really well. This is the botanical we did using the leaves from my potted plant. And we did this using registering technique. So this was on the blue mat, which is very thin. So we put the paint on it, we put the leaves, we took the tracing paper, squished it down, pulled it up, took the leaves away, and we had the paper taped to the desk so it would stay in the same spot. And then we pushed it back down so that we got the skeleton of the leaves in the same spot where the opening was. So I like that. And the paint, the blue was open, so meaning it dries slower. The green was Artist Loft Metallic, and the pink was a Liquitex Quinacridone Magenta. And then I tried to kind of mix them in so we'd have like sort of an ombre. And then this was when we took the leaves off here. I put them on this background that was already painted, and I just squished them to transfer the paint. Because the paint was open, or some of it was open, the paint didn't dry too quick, so we were able to get some nice skeleton leaves. So I'd probably cut those out. This, I think, well, I'll save this one for last. This is the sketch pod stamps onto the square silicone mat, let dry, and then we picked it up with a combination of paints. So that's my sketch pod stamp design. And then this was where we stamped it off the second print. No, this was the first one. So it was still wet. We put this down, we picked it up. That's what it was. And then I just added these foot stamps around from PMR Studio. This is the extra feet. These are all the extra feet. That's the dragon. I'll show that in a second. This is the stencil we used for this print here, which I just love those colors together. So I'm gonna have to watch back to see what I did, because I think that has really good depth to it. That's definitely my favorite print of the day. But I didn't find that using the stencil on the silicone mat was very easy. I felt like I had to really push hard to get the paint to go in there, which is maybe why there's so much shadowing. So maybe when I'm doing this technique on my regular gel plate, maybe I shouldn't try to take away as much of the black and just kind of leave it more shadowy. So that's the Dragon Eye stencil, the Dragon DNA stencil. This was one from last October. This was Dragon Eye stencil. And then I also have a stamp, a Dragon Eye, Year of the Dragon, Year of the Snake, Dragon Eye stamp. So, yeah, I think that's, any thoughts on using a silicone mat? Any Anybody that doesn't have a gel plate, anybody going to get like a silicone mat and try it out? What do you guys think? Just going to read chat for a minute, have a little bit of my coffee. This is a little bit of a different stream for us. Dar, I hope that you found it interesting. Plant looks like a coleus. Oh, my leaves? Okay, I don't know what they are. Joan said, I went from glass plate to silicone mat to gel plate. Okay, so you've had experience using a silicone mat. And how is that different than using a glass mat? Linda said it was interesting. Star Traveler Linda says it's fun to experiment. Joanne said she may have to try it. Pinka enjoyed it. I hope you liked the botanical print I did. Pinka, I think it turned out pretty good. I think it's kind of cool. I like the greens with the purple with the pink. Diane says it's a good choice for someone experimenting for the first time. Yeah. Robin, hi Robin. She says, before I got a gel plate, I tried fun foam for printing. Not easy. I didn't hesitate to buy my first plate after that. Joan says glass was so hard and she appreciates the gel plate now. Yeah, so I mean, I think this one here is a pretty good thickness. If I was traveling for a while and I wanted to be able to make some painty gel papers, this would be very handy. You could also use it as a palette. You can use this to make hot glue stencils to use on your gel plate or on your silicone mat. Yeah, so that was lots of fun. Thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'm going to be on MessyPalette's channel tomorrow evening. I will put a link to her channel below in the description. Joan, this mat I got in the clearance section. No, it wasn't in the clearance section. It was on sale at Michael's. It's Ashland soft silicone pad, 7.8 inches by 7.8 inches. And there's the ISBN. Thanks, Janet. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks to my mods, Dar and Janet. And Colleen was here too. Thank you, Colleen. You're welcome, Joan. Yeah, so next week I will be here. Let me just look at the calendar for a second. So I will be here next week and the week after. October 1st, I will be here. And then October 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th, I will not be streaming live. I'm hoping I'll have at least a couple videos to put out. So we'll see how that goes. All right. Bye, guys. I think Shannon, Art Junkie, is streaming in about 15 minutes, so go check her out. If maybe Dar can put her link in. And yeah, thanks for hanging out. Bye-bye. And I'm just going to lift this up. Come on down. And then we'll press end.